Good morning. My name is Lori. We're going to work on a practice that helps to lose weight. We'll get started in mountain pose, straight arms and straight legs, focusing on the breath, being present. And letting your hands come to your sides. Start with some neck rolls going in one direction. And the other direction. And release. Then bringing your right arm behind your back, holding on to your right elbow, and hold. Releasing the left and right arm and switching to the left. And release, clasping your hands behind your back, bringing your shoulders together, and hold. Then sending hips forward and looking back. And release, bringing both arms overhead, clasped together. Lift out of your waist to the right. Coming back to center. Lifting up out of the waist and going to the left. Coming back to center, letting the arms come down. Putting your weight in your left foot, bringing your right knee into your chest and hold. And release. Switching sides, inhaling your left knee. And release. Then bringing your right leg behind you and hold. And slowly release. Switching sides. And release. Coming back to mountain pose. Spreading your feet hip-width distance apart. Chair pose. And release. Bringing your feet together, forward fold. Half lift. Planting your hands at the top of the mat, stepping back into a plank. Coming down to the mat, up dog. Flipping the toes under, sending your hips to the sky, down dog. Walking your feet towards your hands, we'll bring our right foot forward, left foot back, warrior one. Planting your hands at the mat, plank pose. Up dog. Flipping the toes under, coming into down dog. Stepping your hands towards your legs, bringing the left foot forward, right leg back, warrior one. And release, coming into plank pose. Upward dog. Curling the toes under, down dog. Walking the feet towards your hand, bringing feet together, coming into half lift. Forward fold. one vertebrae at a time, spreading feet hip-width distance apart, coming into chair pose. And release, coming to standing in mountain pose and hold. Bring hands to heart center. And release to mountain pose. Spreading the feet hip width distance apart, chair pose. And release, stepping feet together, forward fold. Half lift. Planting your hands at the top of the mat, plank pose. Upward dog. Flipping the feet under, down dog. Bringing your hands towards your feet, rising to standing, right leg forward, left leg 45 degrees, warrior one. Plant the hands on the mat, plank pose. Upward dog. Pushing back into downward dog. Walking your feet towards your hands, coming up to standing, left foot out, right foot back, warrior one. And release, bringing the feet together, coming down to plank pose. downward dog. Flipping the toes under, coming into down dog. Walking the feet forward, coming into a half lift. Forward fold. Slowly coming up one vertebrae at a time, separating your feet, chair pose. And release, mountain pose. Hands to heart center. And release, bringing the right leg forward, left leg back, warrior one. Allowing your hands to come down, bringing your left hand behind your back, right arm overhead, reversing your warrior. And release, straightening the front leg, sending your hips out, triangle pose. Then bringing your hands to either side of the leg, bringing your head towards your knee. And release, bringing your weight into your right leg, bringing your left leg out, warrior three. And release, bringing the right leg forward, stepping the left leg back, coming into a bind. And release, bringing the feet forward, coming to standing, spreading the legs wide, feet out, hands at heart center, bending your knees. And release, stepping the feet together, hands at heart center. And release. Stepping the left leg forward, the right leg back, warrior one. Releasing the hands, placing the right arm down your leg, left arm back, reversing your warrior. And release. Straightening the front leg, sending the hips out, triangle pose. Placing both hands on either side of your foot, bringing your face towards your knee. Bringing your feet together, placing your weight in the left leg, warrior three. And release. Stepping the left leg forward, the right leg back, coming into a bind. And release, turning the feet forward, spreading legs wide, hands at heart center. Letting your arms come down, straightening your legs, bending down to your ankles with your hands at heart center, garland pose. And release. Coming to your forearms for forearm plank and hold. Letting your stomach come down to the mat. Flipping the feet under, placing your hands behind your head. We'll lift our head off the mat and lift. And release. Pushing back into a child's pose. Using your hands to help you up, coming into a plank. Pushing up to down dog. Then bringing your left arm to your right foot. and release. Bringing your right arm to your left leg. And release. Then lifting your right leg up towards the sky. And release. Lifting left leg. And release. Bringing your right knee to the right side of the mat, extending your left leg back, pigeon pose. Release, coming to a tabletop position and hold. Then bringing the left leg to the left side, extending your right leg back. And release, bringing your feet around, planting the right arm, extending the legs, side plank. Coming down slowly, sending legs forward, staff pose. Then planting your left arm on the mat, coming into side plank. And release. Coming onto your seat, bringing both arms up, hinging at the waist, forward fold. And release. Spreading the legs wide. Reaching out for your toes, bringing your chest towards the floor. And release. Bringing your feet together, grabbing big toes, spreading them wide. Bringing legs together, bringing them towards your face and hold. Slowly releasing to the mat, coming back into a forward fold, raising arms up, sending them towards your feet. and release. Bending your knees, bringing your feet to the mat, coming down one vertebrae at a time. Then releasing your arms overhead and hold. Bringing your arms back by your sides, sending legs to the sky. Bringing your knees in towards your chest. And release. Then bringing your elbows towards the mat, your hands towards your hips, coming up for half shoulder stand. Sending your feet to the ground for plow. Bringing your legs back up towards the sky, coming down one vertebrae at a time. Bring your feet down to the mat and rest. Coming back into plow. This time we'll spread our feet wide and hold. Bringing your feet together, sending them towards the sky, coming down one vertebrae at a time. Bringing your knees into your chest, rolling side to side. Coming back to the center, going back up into a shoulder stand. Bringing your knees down, coming down one vertebrae at a time. We'll come around onto our front, spreading the knees wide, big toes together, child's pose. Coming up onto your hands and knees, lowering yourself down onto your chest. Then we'll bring our hands by our sides, lifting our head, hands and feet off the mat, and lift. And release, pressing your hands into the mat, flipping the toes under, coming into downward dog. Bringing your feet towards your hands. Stepping the right leg out, left leg back. Hands in either side, warrior two. Bringing your left arm behind your back, reversing the warrior. Letting the arm come down, straightening the front leg, sending hips out, triangle pose. And release, bringing both feet forward, spreading them wide, coming into wide leg forward bend, bringing your head to the mat. Using your hands to help you up, stepping the feet together, coming into garland pose. Then coming down onto your knees, bringing them together, placing your hands on your thighs, hold. Lowering yourself back onto your stomach. Coming into locust pose, lifting head, arms, and feet off the mat, and lift. And release, pushing yourself back, coming into a down dog. Stepping your feet towards your hands, sending the left leg out, right leg back, warrior two. Bringing your right hand down, left arm back, reverse your warrior. And release, stepping the feet together, sending your hips out, triangle pose. And release, bringing your feet wide, hinging at the waist, bringing your head towards the mat. Bringing yourself back up, coming around onto your seat. We'll bring the legs up and arms out, boat pose. and slowly release. Then bringing yourself slowly back down on towards the mat. We'll send the legs to the sky for one last bit of effort to scissor kick down to the count of 10. And when your feet reach the mat, letting them fall to the sides, as your hands fall to the sides, congratulations, you've made it to Savasana. We'll start to bring movement into our fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. And when you're ready, turning to your favorite side to come to seated. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. Namaste.